Hey fellow onces, this is from once, to once, for twice. Let's do this. In addition to basic level authentication, which is figuring out or making sure that your piece is authentic, you also want to do certain things to learn more about the buyer and make sure that they're legitimate, right? So oftentimes in the community, like I said, when you make contacts, when you make friends out there in the Polaroid community, it's pretty clear who are the well-known sellers and who are reliable sellers. When you can't get that, or you're meeting a seller for the first time that other friends don't necessarily have experience with, it's important to know that seller's track history. And so some things you can do to protect yourself include asking for proofs. But a lot of times on Instagram, what they'll have under the saved Insta stories are proofs. And so they'll have a collection of people they've sold things to that show those buyers receive those items, and so that's a proof for you to see that other people have received those goods and services. And this isn't somebody who's just going to sell you a Polaroid and then never send it to you and run away and disappear. Additional things that were just, I think, common sense, but things to think about and know about are, look at that person's account. Have they sold other things? Are they just created like 2 days ago only and have no friends or no followers? That's always a little suspicious, right? A lot of times you may see a Polaroid and you may get so excited you don't think about these things because of the rush that you're kind of going through just trying to obtain the Polaroid. But make sure to protect yourself by understanding the history of the seller. An additional way to protect yourself is to make sure that you pay with PayPal goods and services as opposed to PayPal friends and family. This was covered a little bit in the first video, but we'll go over it again. With PayPal goods and services, you pay an extra fee, but it protects you in the event that the item never reaches you or the seller never actually sends it to you. You're protected and you could get that money refunded back. On the flip side, friends and family, although it charges essentially very little to no fees, once that money is sent, there's no turning back, and so you cannot get that money back. Some sellers will talk you into sending friends and family because then they don't get docked fees on their end, but it's always kind of a dangerous choice. So unless it's somebody that could be vouched for very, very well by somebody you know, in general, you should not be paying with friends and family. And the additional thing is with friends and family, even if it's somebody that could be vouched for really well, if they send it and something happens, like lightning strikes that parcel and it turns into dust, right? You're not protected for that. Even though the seller is vouched for and they were legitimate and they sold it, you weren't protected when you send the friends and family because your money's already sent and there's no way to get it back. Silly example, but you never know what can happen during transit. Lastly, always make sure as part of the negotiations you talk about the type of packaging, which you'll typically pay for as a separate fee, and the date that it will be sent out on. Again, these are two important things to mention or talk about, because if you don't, they get lost in the fold, and you should use these items to leverage your negotiation. So, as you're trying to figure out the price point, if you ask, hey, can you send this out tomorrow? Versus, they may want to send it out in 3 or 4 days. If they push up the price a little higher, then you say, okay, I'll give you the higher price, but can you send it out in 1 day or 2 days instead of 3 days or 4 days, right? And a lot of that does depend, again, if they have it on hand or not. Are they a seller? Are they a reseller? If they're a reseller, it may take a little time for the Polaroid to get to them before they can send it out to you. As you're negotiating, some of this information comes out and it becomes pretty apparent what the situation is, and you should know what situation you're getting into while you're negotiating for that Polaroid. With regards to the different types of delivery services, there's typically 3 types. The first and best typically, but the most expensive, ranging anywhere typically from about $40 to $70 internationally, is going to be FedEx. Get to you in a few days. It's the most guaranteed. It's probably the best and safest, but it's also the most expensive, but in general it's probably worth paying for. At the end of the day, the mantra is you get what you pay for. Another provider is DHL, which seems pretty reliable. Prices for this usually a little below maybe somewhere between $20 to $50 typically. and there's tracking available. And in general, my experiences with DHL have been pretty good. Third option is EMS. This is international kind of a parcel. It does take a little longer to arrive compared to the aforementioned services, but in general, I haven't had any major issues with it. EMS, by the time it gets to the United States, typically translates into the U.S. Postal Service handling it. And so it's kind of more or less, EMS is like the International Postal Service. So just be aware of your different options, and again, kind of negotiate that into your pricing as well. So that does it for this video. We covered whether you should get a Polaroid based on whether it sparks joy or not in you. We talked about basic level authentication. We talk about negotiating price. We talk about things you can do to generally protect yourself. And then we talked about different delivery methods and dates as well. So stay tuned. We'll continue having more content, including special surprises with some Polaroid stories that I have of my own collection, and a guest Polaroid that one of my friends has as well. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button and make sure you subscribe. So this is From Once, To Once, For Twice. See you guys next time.